Tom Gross is a Middle East analyst joining me now from Tel Aviv. Hi, Tom. Good to have you on this news hour. These talks that have taken place in Jordan, it would appear to be a step in the right direction. But do you think they're really going to make a difference?
Well, it's too early to tell if they'll make a difference. They're definitely a step in the right direction. It's actually one of the first times for a long time that senior Israeli and Palestinians have met, at least in public, and they were joined there by government officials from Egypt, Jordan, and the United States. And it is a promising sign that senior people, I think the head of Palestinian intelligence was there, and I think the head of the National Security Advisor of Benjamin Netanyahu was there. However, as your reporter mentioned in the previous report, quickly after this meeting, there was another act of terrorism. Two Israeli brothers, aged 19 and 21, were shot dead at close range by a Palestinian terrorist. And then, equally horrifically, Israeli settlers took the law into their own hands, and they went to the village that they presumed that terrorist had come from, that Palestinian village, and they caused a riot there. One Palestinian man was shot during that riot, and a number of other Palestinians had their homes damaged by fire. And in fact, the Israeli army then came in to protect the Palestinians against the Jewish settlers, and to indeed transport some injured Palestinians to Israeli hospitals. So this is a very worrying flare-up following a rather positive meeting yesterday between the governments.
Yeah, Tom, because then it makes one think, how can they build on these talks to improve the situation? Because agreements that are made between politicians don't really seem to translate to real world situation and what's happening on the ground, because tensions have been very high in this region for several months now, and we're seeing it play out more and more. This has been the deadliest year so far for Palestinians over the last few years.
Well, what the Israeli government would say anyway is that the Palestinian Authority has not been attempting to prevent Palestinian terror attacks on Israelis, and therefore the Israeli army have gone into Palestinian population centers in Nablus and Jenin, engaged in firefights with armed Palestinians, and during that urban combat, some Palestinian civilians have also lost their lives. And what the Israeli government wants is for the Palestinian Authority, who rules over those cities of Jenin, Nablus, and other cities, to clamp down on Palestinian terror activity or armed groups. And then there won't be the need for Israel to engage in these actions. So it is possible that with greater security cooperation between the Palestinian and Israeli security forces, attacks on both sides will not occur in the level we have been seeing in the last year. And I think that's what presumably they're trying to do. And it's why the national security advisors were meeting yesterday in Aqaba, the port city in Jordan that borders the Israeli port of Eilat. I think it wasn't economic finance ministers, it wasn't diplomats, it was security officials that were meeting. So presumably they are trying to calm things, especially since we have the Muslim holy month of Ramadan coming up in a few weeks and the Jewish festival of Passover. And often during Ramadan, there are kind of heightened emotions, heightened tensions, and we've seen increased attacks, not just in Israel, but in fact in other places, Pakistan and other Muslim countries.
Yeah, that will certainly be something to keep an eye out on in the coming months. Ramadan expected to start at the end of March. Tom Gross, good to speak to you and get your analysis. Thank you.